Hey everyone, welcome to Scruffy to Scratch on the Shoot Par Now channel. I'm Arlen Bento Jr. and this is my son George.
What's going on, everybody?
And if you've been following this show, this is the show that we help people get better. George is learning how to play golf, and we want to really get him to a scratch level, and we're doing great, but there's always things to work on. Now, today though, we're going to try some stuff today. And George doesn't know what's coming yet. And I think there's going to be a lot of mishits, but I think I'm going to be able to get some things across to him that's going to help him for the future, okay? So let's go ahead and hit a couple shots. And I'm going to be watching the data on the simulator here. What do you got in your hands?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing crazy. I just want some smooth eights. See what it looks like. That looks pretty good. We're going to look at from this side. So his delivery was good. He came across that 3.9 degrees, so he's a little over the top. Face was okay. This is what we want to work on. So you can see him cut across it. That's probably a little bit more. Okay, so that actually was pretty good. That was 1.5. Did you make a change in your downswing? So you just tried to close the face. You didn't try to shallow the swing.
No.
You just tried to close the face.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it again. So this is common for a lot of people, right? Like they just start the club from the top. Go to the top again. Go. Pretty close. So you came across that 3.7 again, right? Okay, no ball, just go top. So what we're gonna be working on with George today is set up here. So we wanna feel, this is what we've been working on, go to the top of the backswing, and George needs to feel like the club needs to just drop to his pocket. See how the club head looks like it's getting close to this yellow X? I don't know if they can see in the video, but you wanna feel like the club is dropping here before he turns and comes around. Now, in reality, that's dropping while he's turning, okay? But sometimes that's, easy to say but hard to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something that I wanted to try, okay? And I want to explain it like this. I want him to think about, like he's holding a tennis racket, okay? No, hold it like that, like a steering wheel. Okay, yeah, okay, good. And he's going to point the steering wheel down to the ground, okay? So here's what I want him to think about. So start your backswing, good. And the club, yeah, the club's gonna rotate perfectly here, right? Now, here's the deal. What he's trying to figure out to do is he's trying to get here and he's trying to get that racket to turn back, right? That feeling, right? To square the club up. But what I want him to work on is doing this. I want him to take the club and tip it over, okay? Now, I know what you're saying. You're watching this going, that's terrible. Watch what happens, okay? It's a feel that isn't real, okay? So as he goes to the top of his backswing, he's gonna feel like it's gonna tip over, but I want him to tip it this way. You got that feeling?
Fine.
Yeah. And then swing it. Tip it. Good. Now as he tips it, I want him to feel like the end of the tennis racket is going to the right. So tip, just go up, turn it down, and swing right. Yeah. Now that looks crazy, right? Give me that. I'm going to have him do that with his club. And what we're trying to get to, go ahead, do it, is we're trying to figure out, go to top, as he gets right here, we want the club to tip and rotate on his plane, down into the ball. Now remember, his body is rotating, his arms are moving. It's a sensation, okay? I don't know what's going to come out here, but I got a feeling, doesn't that feel a lot different than what you're working on? Yeah. So again, we might not stay here very long, but I do want him to feel this rotational move coming down, okay? So go to the top of your swing and just shift, turn, and tip it over. Now, where does it feel like the ball's going to go when you do that? You have a sensation of it? Tip it. Where's it going to go? No sense?
No.
Okay, let's try one. See what's going to...
the ground behind it.
It's fine. It might. I don't know. So go to the top and just tip it over. Turn the steering, turn like you turn the wreck. Go all the way up and tip it. What came out?
Baby draw.
Baby draw, right? Okay, do it again. Everybody's watching this going, oh no, he's coming over the top. He is, but watch what happens. So go all the way up to the top, tip it over. And he's moving, his lower body's moving a little bit too much. 4. Okay, so he's learning how to square the face by that feel of turning it over into tip, okay, whatever you want to call that is. I just made up that word. But what you got to do now is you got to drop, then tip. So you got to drop, then tip. It's going to feel like you're swinging right. So all the way up, drop, tip, and go. That's what I want you to feel. Let's see what the data says. So we went 1.8 into ball, and the face was close 3, okay? His normal feel is to come over it 3.5, 3.7, and then hang on to the club, okay? This is just an alternative way to teach what it's like to get the club to rotate down into square. Now go to the top again. Now if you're watching this, go to the top. If he comes from here and like you saw me tip him, right? That's not what's going to come out. That's the feeling he has. But remember, he's dropping and trying to tip. But his hands will never do that because they're moving the other direction. Okay, go to the top and hold it. Yep. Try to swing, let it drop and work to the right, and then tip it over. Go. Nope. So he swung, he didn't drop. He tried to go over, and it didn't work. So the feedback is he has to drop. If he drops it, he can't. If he doesn't drop it, he can't tip it. So you got to drop and tip. Drop it, tip it. Close. So you got to drop and let the club go a little more right while you're tipping it. Drop it here harder as you're tipping it. He's got to drop and try to get his hands to feel that motion. Boom. Close. Close. So 1.4, 1.3, okay? That was one of his better like put-togethers. Now, we're going to look back at the tape to see if you're on plane or not. But your club face is square and your path is better, right? So we assume that you're not coming over the top, but you could still be a little bit, right? Yeah. So let's get the driver out. Go grab your driver. So the driver's been the one that's been really killing him. And we're going to test that out because we're going to see if what I just put in helps or not. And remember, this is not staged. He didn't know. He didn't know what was coming. We haven't swung any driver yet, right? Okay, so let's hit a couple drives, just see what comes out, okay? Good. Make sure you get a nice turn. Left shoulder past the ball. That's different. I know, right? Shake your head like, what was that? How come it did that? Remember, his balls always go right. Do it again. Turn your back to the target. So you felt something, there's something going on different, right? Yeah. So his path was really good. 0.3, face was closed a little. Again. Turn, swing out, turn it over. So you see how, yeah, I pulled, no, don't lock it. Just there. Take your turn, swing out, turn it over. One big motion. Ooh, you catch that? Catch it?
Yeah.
All right, look at the data. All right, so 2.90, he swung 103. You know, he wasn't really going after it. 103 miles an hour. He carried it, 247, rolled out 263. scale of 1 to 10, what was that effort?
6.
Okay, 6. So now, every time we go to 8, you lose it right. So you got to try to time your speed by the drop, the tip, and the rotation, right? So let's see if you can go fast and find this new feel, right? So set up to it. This way. Big turn and rip it as hard as you can. Show me whatever you got. Ouch. Well, that's going to fly that other one. Woo. All right. So we got 2.1 in path, 3/4 little close, 112 miles an hour. Carried that 200. So he carried that 280. It only gave him 12 yards a roll. I promise you that 280 did not roll 12 yards with that trajectory. It's a little low on the club face, so we might go up a little higher tee. We kind of have a low tee today. But so 280 carry and the face squared up. So when you watch this video, make sure if you have questions, put some comments in there. This is something that I think a lot of players can learn from, and there are some great teachers that teach this idea similarly. But I think for George, the feeling of doing this, which you think would create more right, actually has an effect that's opposite, right? Okay. Well, that's all we got for this week. Thanks for watching, and make sure leave some comments and do some likes. It helps us out a lot. Anything to say?
Hasta la vista.
See you guys later.